surface where water can absorb into. Anong surface na mag-absorb ng water? Walang iba kundi ang porous surface. So, example dito ay paper. Importanteng malaman natin kung anong klase-klaseng surface because per surface, yung tinatawag na substrate sa fingerprint, may kanya-kanyang method of development. For example, pag porous surface, ang general rule dito, kailangan ng chemical development. Whereas pag non-porous surface, ito ay by the use of powder and super glue. And then number 14, a system of identification based on anthropometry. So we have discussed already photographs and portrait parley. So that is known as the Bertillon System. So, dali lang, no? Let us continue with number 15. According to the narrow meaning of the words in fingerprint parlance, a single ridge may bifurcate, but it may not be said to diverge. Therefore, with one exception, the two pores of a bifurcation may never constitute pipelines. Ito ang ibig sabihin nito. So, let me just illustrate. If you want to locate the delta, ang pinaka-area na tinitingnan ay yung tinatawag na two innermost ridges. Kagaya nito. We have here, it could be, there are several ridges here. Dito, titingnan ay yung tinatawag na two innermost ridges. So, yung hanapin muna, to locate a delta, you have to first identify where the pipelines are. So, ang pipelines, ang element niya dito, they are the two innermost ridges. And then, the two innermost ridges run parallel and then diverge. And then surround. Or tend to surround the pattern area. Ang napaligiran ng pipelines, ito yung pipeline. Yan. Ang napaligiran ng pipelines, ito ang pattern area sa loob. Tingnan natin dito sa innermost ridges, dito natin makikita ang possible na delta. So, alam na natin ang delta, it could be any of the breadths na na-discuss na natin, that is bifurcation, recurving ridge, ending ridge, angle, meeting of two ridges, and then dot or fragment, and then short ridge. So, any of that. Now, ang pinag-usapan sa tanong ay patungkol sa bifurcation. Ang bifurcation ba, pwede ba siya matawag na type lines? Parehas ba ang type lines sa bifurcation? Ang general rule is that hindi pwede. Bifurcation cannot be considered as it is not type lines. Hindi natin matawag na type lines ang bifurcation. General rule, hindi pwede ang bifurcation magiging type lines. Kasi hindi to siya matawag na divergence. Kasi bago merong divergence, meron munang parallel line. Like this one, parallel. When we say parallel, merong magkatapat na ridges. So, they run alongside. These ridges run alongside. Pero kung tingnan natin dito, kaagad naghiwalay. Kaya sa isang pagmamahal, bakit mo nasabi na naghiwalay kayo kung in the first place wala naman kayo? So, hiwalay kaagad bago kayo? Paano yan? So, dapat meron mo ng pagsasama bago maghiwalay. Kaya dito sa type line na natin, nagsama sila, meaning they run together in parallel lines and then they departed ways. Pero dito, naghiwalay kaagad ang lines. So, that cannot be considered as type lines. Pero, merong exception to the rule. Ito yung napag-usapan sa tanong. Ang exception to the rule, Pagkatapos na nag-bifurcate, the two forks run parallel. Ganyan, nag-run parallel sila. Magkatapat ang running together nila. And then pagkatapos na niyan, verge. And then tend to surround the pattern area. Yan, exception yan sa rule. Pwede pala ang bifurcation if after bifurcating, the ridges run parallel and then diverge and then surround or tend to surround the pattern area. So balikan natin ang tanong. Anyway, ma-i-record naman to siya. This will become available to you for further quiz later on. So let us just move to the next. According to the narrow meaning of the words in fingerprint parlance, a single ridge may bifurcate, but it may not be said to diverge. Tama yan. So, nag-bifurcate pero hindi pwedeng diverge kasi ang proper term na diverge, may dalawang ridges. Therefore, with one exception, the two forks of a bifurcation may never constitute flanks. The exception is when the forks, yung pinag-usapan natin kanina, the forks run parallel after bifurcating. Pagkatapos na nag-bifurcate, nag-run parallel and then diverge. That is an exception to the rule that a bifurcation may now be considered as pipelines. Go to number 16. All areas of friction skin are totally individual. So, nandito na kaagad ang pinaka-word na kailangan natin malaman. Totally individual, meaning to say, nag-iisa. When sufficient detail is present, it can be individualized. In other words, when someone is identified as the donor of a print, it establishes that a person, as the only person in the world who could have that print, that is known as the principle of uniqueness, or yung tinatawag na individual. Nature does not copy itself. Number 17. All other tracings were intervening ridges between ridge trace and delta are less than 3. Less than 3. Let me point out for purposes of recall. So, ito yung pag-ridge trace natin. We have 1, 2, 3. So, ito siya ay inner. Ang tandaan natin, ang magic number ay 3. It could be 3 or more. Basta pasok sa tinatawag na 3. Inner siya kung ang ridge trace ay nasa loob ng right delta. Tingnan nyo ang number. Kung i-trace natin. So, yan, stop tayo. Dito, we draw an imaginary line. And then we have number 3. 3 pa rin. 1, 2, 3. Tingnan nyo ang ridge trace nasa baba ng delta. Dito nasa loob. Dito nasa labas or nasa baba. Dito nasa loob or nasa itaas ng right delta. So ito siya ay outer. If you have observed, we have a minimum number dito na 3. It could be 3 or more. Basta tingnan natin kung ano ang formation ng ridge tracing. Is it inside the right delta or outside the right delta? So, kung meron tayong 3 or it could be more than 3, then it could be inner or outer. Inner in the sense na inside ang right delta. So, inside the right delta ang ridge trace. Outer in the sense na outside the right delta ang ridge trace. Tingnan nyo ang number 3 at saka number 4. O, dito, hindi umabot sa 3. So, dito, hindi umabot the 1 or it could be wala. So, a minimum number ay 3. Anong tawag natin dito pag hindi umabot sa 3 intervening ridges? That is known as meeting. So, tatlo, no? Ang possible na ridge tracing, inner, outer, at saka meeting.